blaming why you didn't get it. You didn't get it. Somebody else did it to you. Somebody else took what was supposed to be yours. Not so. It's impossible for anybody, anywhere, anyhow, anytime, to cheat you. It is impossible. What did I just say? I said it is impossible for you to be cheated, abandoned, lied to, that's an I, lied to, abused, betrayed, overlooked, undervalued, unappreciated. And I can hear the whole room say, "No, you don't understand. My husband cheated on me. He had an affair with my best friend. In fact, they ended up and married each other. So how are you saying I can't be cheated?" You wanted it to happen, okay? It was part of the picture. It was a part of what was going to be. You didn't have the guts to do it or to admit it that you were not happy. I don't like that word. I hate that word happy because I don't hate the word happy, but it's so overused because I'm not happy or I am happy. You don't know whether you're happy or you're not happy. You have no idea whether you are because there's this water that's constantly moving through you all the time. And so if you're trying to grab a hold of that water, you're going to be flowed this way or maybe there's turbulence in the water. So happiness is a fleeting thing. But getting back to being cheated. Your husband cheated on you. He did you wrong. He broke your heart. He left you. You know, he was just a cheater. So you said he's a bad person. Absolutely bad. You were with him. You were with him. This is the man you chose. But the thing is, you had ideas about him. You had formulated ideas about this man and about what he should or should not be. You never stopped one time denying. Remember that first word? Denying what was actually going on with you. What is going on inside of you? Stop that denying. There were countless times when, here's another word, countless times when you were disappointed, when there were times when you were having conversations and the gap between you was so big you could have landed a jet plane in the distance. And yet, when he comes up and he starts seeing another woman, you say, "He cheated on me." He did not. He did not. He took the action that was appropriate for him at the time. You are labeling it cheating. He is just doing whatever feels natural to him, which accentuates that you need to be doing whatever feels natural to you. You cannot make somebody love you. You thought you could? You cannot make somebody love you. It's impossible. And you cannot make or stop somebody from cheating on you, if you want to use that word. There's going to be divorces, there's going to be deaths, there's going to be marriages, there's going to be births. All of them are in the big picture. And you cannot take this little teeny thing here that you're calling cheating as if it's a bad thing and say that it was not part of the entire picture of what was going to take place. You can't do that. I mean, you can do that, but it's idiotic because everything that's happening is happening on a grander scale. It's happening beyond before. You remember a while ago when I said, this was going to happen before I do it? That's life. It's here. It's here before I put it here. It's here. And even though I'll throw this paper away, I'll pull it off and throw it away, that mark will remain there. It will remain there. It won't be constantly visual to me, but it is nonetheless there. Okay, so some of you are saying, but I have been abandoned. How can you be abandoned? And I'm being as gut, honest, serious, and dramatic as I can. How can you possibly be abandoned if you are alone to begin with? How can you be abandoned? Now, if you have in some way given some kind of ideation to another, thinking that that person constitutes you or is supposed to take care of you or in some way increases you, supports you, or whatever other element you might attribute to that person, then I can see where you might have a sense of abandonment. But if you are in tune with yourself and your words and your heart are in unison, and you realize that you are alone, I'm alone, I entered the world alone, I will exit alone, then there is no person on the outside of me, mother, father, brother, sister, lover, friend, if there's such a thing as enemy, so you may think, can abandon me. They can't abandon me. The only one that could do that possibly would be me. I can abandon myself and start being or trying to be something you think I ought to be. And I can start pretending that I am that person that you want to be with. I have abandoned myself if I've done that. What's the next thing? Lied to. Lied to. Truth is relevant. What I'm saying this moment, if you watch me today and then you watch another show next week. Now I may say next week something totally different that contradicts everything I'm saying today. Does that make what I said today false? It is true this moment. This moment. That's all that we can have is this moment. We cannot carry whatever it is, our ideas, our loves, our hates, our gripes, our complaints, our bitches, our adorations, our passions. We can't carry them forward. They are now. And when tomorrow gets here, if we're still here tomorrow and we feel those things I just said, they're real for that moment. But I didn't carry them from yesterday, and I won't be taking them till tomorrow. I love that. Thank you. I love that. Let's come back. We come to life. We come to life. Each moment we are existing, we come to life. We didn't just get born, and the rest of the time we're here, we're kind of like repeating. We're coming to life every single second. Unless we're lying to ourselves. Not someone else lying to us. We're lying to ourselves. We're saying, well, if I do this for so-and-so, I'll get so-and-so. If I save up $1,000, I'll be able, this is crazy because you're not going to buy a car for $1,000, but that's the only example that came to my mind. If I save up $1,000, I'll be able to, buy that car. Okay, well, every single moment that you're living, you're going to be obsessed with that idea of getting that money together to get that car. Well, you're not living. You're not living. What you're doing is going through the motions of trying to achieve an object. That is not to say that you won't get the car. Of course you'll get the car. But in the meantime, if you could come to life, do what you do, naturally, conveniently, with all of your heart because you love what you're doing and for no other reason, the car will be part of the path, but you have not exchanged these hours of nebulous pretense. Now, let me go to the next word. Oh, there's a good word. You would not be abusing the hours because of trying to get something. Everything that you are, you have, and you do is not going to be taken from you. You cannot hurry up to get it, and you cannot postpone it. It's going to happen exactly and precisely as it's supposed to happen. Now, I know you want to believe that you have something to do with it. I know you do. We are human beings, and we want to believe that we have achieved these magnanimous things, or, on the same token, that we have done these things that are so bad, and we're supposed to be so remorsefully guilty over. No. You are part of something that is so grand and so magnanimous. You are part of it. You are not it. It exists in spite of you and because of you. Now that sounded contradictory, if I've ever heard it. Betrayal. No one can betray you except yourself. No one. It's impossible. Impossible. Betray. What would that mean? Betray would mean that somebody did me wrong because, well, first of all, I'm going to be disappointed if I expect something from another. Well, what am I expecting from another? And why would I think, I'm going back to the word betrayal, why do I think that someone has the power to betray me? That would mean that either I have elevated him or her into a position of authority to where what his or her actions would do would have some kind of result, some kind of negative connotation where I'm concerned. Or I've either elevated myself to believe that the person did not follow through with whatever it was that I thought he ought or she ought to do. So what do? In order not to be betrayed, don't have an idea that this person is supposed to say or do or be or feel. You don't have that jurisdiction. It doesn't fall in your domain. Now let's go back. Where are we at? Unappreciated, undervalued, overlooked. Unappreciated. Now, how would you know whether you were unappreciated or not if you were not so focused on what the other person is supposed to be doing for you or saying to you or getting for you or engaging time? How would you know that? So you have once again, left your first love. The Bible says the first love. You constitute a human form, and you are to live that form each and every moment. You are to come to life every moment. Somebody said to Jesus about Lazarus, and come on, you got to come see about him. He's been dead, for 3 days, I think the Bible records it. And Jesus spoke and said, Lazarus, come forth. You stinketh. Okay? Now, he was not concerned in the least that the idea that he'd been dead for 3 days, that he couldn't possibly come to life. He could come to life, but he had to disintegrate the molecules, the cells, the normality of life, of someone saying, well, you're dead, you know you can't come back to life. My point is, when you get so in tune with the energy that you possess, energy you possess, you are indestructible. Now, what did I say? That means if I'm indestructible, but I don't have to say I'm indestructible. If I say I'm indestructible, that doesn't make me indestructible. I'm already indestructible. But if I am indestructible, then I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be abandoned. I cannot be cheated, abused, unappreciated, overlooked, and undervalued. I can't do it. Because whatever it is that constitutes me and constitutes you goes before you open your mouth. There's something bigger going on. And so what happens is we get identified. Let's say we're born and we are given a name of Sally. Well, Sally comes to be born from John and Susan. And this Sally thinks that this is her daddy, and this is her mother, and she is the child. She comes into this life believing this. And so she would have brought with her the DNA patterns of the two individuals, no doubt. And she would have brought with her all of the various different environmental factors. Okay? So she is Sally, and she is born. Then Susan and John, if they stay together, or if they don't, whatever he felt and whatever she felt is going to be somewhat mingled into this Sally. And she's going to start to grow up. And she's going to believe that she is a separate individual and that she is the child of these two people, and that she is special. Now, she may be filled with talents. Everybody is. Every single solitary child that's ever been born is. But somehow, maybe Susan and John